Welcome, Mary Latham, to the show. Mary, I can't stop looking at the pictures, the images, the smiles. All of it is so inspiring. And I love that this is now your mom's legacy, Patricia's legacy. You said that your mother was an optimistic person, the most optimistic person that you've ever known, always focused on good, always smiling, always putting people first, and that she radiated quiet kindness. Describe what, when you say quiet kindness, what that means.
I think my mother was just someone that was constantly doing small acts of human kindness, kind of behind the scenes. Like she wasn't very vocal about what she was doing. And she just, I think the biggest thing is after she passed away, when like the mailman showed up and sat down on our doorstep and started crying when we told him, or, a Jehovah's Witness who stopped by. And my mom was Irish Catholic. And when I told the woman, or my father told the woman that she had passed away, she also started crying and told us that
Oh.
my mom would invite her in for like a cup of tea and they would talk sometimes. And it was just like all these people came out of the woodwork that she had done things for and that were just so impacted by her passing.
I'm always reminded of that quote, people don't remember what you said, they remember how you treated them. And
Oh,
clearly from that, people remembered how she treated them. I know you've started a Facebook page called the Gratitude Project, where you were gathering stories of positivity. And then when you lost Patricia, you decided you wanted to take it to another level. And you came up with this more good, this road trip in her car, nonetheless. I mean, did people say, "Are you kidding me? This is not possible. You're not going to be able to pull this off."
I think the biggest part is I had to rely on strangers' kindness really to be doing this trip. I stayed, I think, in three hotels the entire 3 years. I stayed with strangers that hosted me in every state in America. And so I think that was what people were like, are you kidding me? They had just staying in strangers' homes and I, gave my dad a lot of stress. But I think that I really believe in when you're putting something out there like that, you hope it comes back to you. And I was very fortunate that it did.
Only three hotels on the entire mission. Three hotels,
Yeah.
43,000 miles, three hotels.
Yeah. I really felt more comfortable in someone's home in an area that I didn't really know as opposed to being by myself. Like people asked if I
Even
would
if they were
you go
strangers.
camping. Oh yeah. Yeah, like Cheryl Strayed going out into the wilderness and camping, that to me terrifying. I feel like it would have buried me. But in a home where the person knows their community, knows the safe areas, like, can help me connect to the community, help me connect to stories. I mean, I really believed in the strangers that would reach out and offer their help.
Mary, it took you 3 years, 31 days to complete your mission. So, what did you establish again as the finish line? How did you say, okay, this is where I'm going to wrap it all up?
Finishing all 50 states really. And like you said, it started as this little gratitude project and people would mail the stories in and it got into the car because people weren't sending stories in as much anymore. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to go out there and find them myself, instead of getting discouraged and being like, oh,
Yeah.
there's no good out there, I guess.
And you were in search of more good in the world. So 50 states, I know inquiring minds want to know the kindest state. Have you picked one, or is it like choosing from your favorite child? The kindest state?
It does kind of feel like the child thing, but I would say once I finished the mission, the one that I felt was overwhelmingly friendly was Alaska, actually.
Alaska. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I mean, I'm from Texas, so I know that's gonna hurt some hearts there. But I also lived in Illinois, and I lived in Pennsylvania, and now I'm in New York. So I've got 4 states. Lucky enough, I've been surrounded by kind people. Is it true? What do they say? Minnesota nice? Did you find
I
the
mean, they
Midwest?
were all nice. There was definitely places where I'd find more stories than others, but it might just be because the host I was staying with had more connections. So it was so hard to tally it up like that. Every
I like
state.
that. Well, I like that you picked Alaska because Prince famously said the reason why he continued to stay in Minneapolis is that the cold kept the bad people out. So there might be something to there being cold weather and keeping the bad out. Well, I know that your father was so proud of you, Jim, and he was touched by your dedication to your mother? You've said that he's a man of few words, but I'm sure, again, to have your dad say how proud he was of you at the end of that felt incredible.
Yeah, I think just getting off of the road that day and getting out of the car 3 years later and just giving him that hug, knowing he's gonna sleep tonight, like, he's gonna finally be like, "Okay, my baby daughter is home," and, and she made it, and because I think it was the hardest on him. Of course, it's my dad and I'm staying with strangers.
Oh my gosh. Well, you've said he's a man of few words, but I happen to know he's got some things to say. Jim, are you there?
Hi,
Your dad,
Mary. Hi.
surprise! Jim has joined the Mission Possible show. Jim, I know you're so proud of Mary. She said you a lot of sleepless nights there, but she accomplished that mission. Describe to me that feeling for you to see her do it.
Well, she's a very brave woman to step out and take on this task, and she set out to do it, and she accomplished it. And it's just been amazing for me to be part of it from behind the scenes. Even though I was worried about her, I was I knew she could do it.